Do you believe in the old saying, 3 times is charm, or the 3rd time is charm? That's how I feel about trying to film this video. I made a promise to myself that if this video didn't come out right, or at least the way I wanted it to come out, that I would not do another one. And yes, this is about skincare. I think the reason why I had to film it 2 other times, well, I wanted to make sure that you understood how I truly feel about skincare. I think skincare is so personal. It depends on so much. It's about your skin. It's about how you've taken care of your skin in the past over the years or not. Whether you're oily, whether you're dry, whether you're normal, whether you're a combination, where you come from in the world, it's different. It is different for each one of us. And I just don't believe that there's any one skincare line or any one product that works for anyone. I can tell you what I'm using today, but that means nothing. I don't think, at least. I think what matters mainly is where I've been and what I've done and used in the past. So I'm going to tell you today what I'm using and maybe a little bit about how I got to this point, because I've always used skincare. Since my early 20s, I have used some kind of skincare on a pretty regular basis. So for those of you who are brand new, let me tell you that I am 82 years old. I have done absolutely nothing to my face. I have had no facelifts, no cosmetic surgery, no Botox, no fillers, no invasive treatments whatsoever. Probably about 30 years ago, I had a glycolic peel that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life, because I peeled for days and I was literally had to take time off from work because I worked out in the public. I had to see people every day and I couldn't have skin hanging off of my face. So, wow, it's been a journey for me. But one thing that I've done up until the last few years, I've done for every single new product I've tried over the years, is I would only use that product on one side of my face. So on one side of my face, I would use exactly what I'd been using, exactly. On the other side of the face, if I was thinking about replacing a product, I would replace that product, or if it was something new I was adding in, I would do that, but I would do it on one side of my face, and I would do it for 3 months and be totally faithful to it for 3 months. And after 3 months, I would get in my mirror and I would look and try to see if there was any difference at all. And I can tell you that about 99.9% of the time there was no difference, none whatsoever. So I have had nothing done. So what you're seeing today on my face is what my skin looks like with nothing as far as procedures or any particular product. Let me put it that way. But I switch around all the time. I just always switch around for the most part and try different things. And since I started my YouTube channel, I've had so many products just sent to me. Once you get on those PR lists, they're sending you things. And I've tried them. I've even worked with a brand of skincare that I did like, but it was, I couldn't tell any difference in that and anything else I've used. So at 82 years old, I have come to the conclusion that I am just going to use what makes me feel good. And let me go back and say that I have used the highest end and I have used not just the most inexpensive drugstore, but concoctions I've cooked up myself, recipes that I have found various places. I just don't see any difference in my skin. I don't. That's the honest truth. I don't. But I always want to believe that there is that one product that I see on television or I see in a magazine, the before, the after 2 weeks using 2 times a day. I never find that. I never get those results when I buy into that. So, I've been using a couple of products now for years that I really do like. And then I use anything else on top of those 2 products that might make me, that I just feel like using in the moment. That day, I just feel like, oh, I think I'll use this today, or I think I'll use this today. So a little backstory. A couple of months ago, I decided, or I started entertaining the idea that maybe I just wanted to change, not needed, but wanted to change my skincare just a little bit. Or maybe a lot, maybe go to something completely different. And I started looking for different things. And 6 weeks, well, it was way back before Christmas, I saw on QVC one day Peter Thomas Roth. And Peter Thomas Roth had the Today Special. Now, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Peter Thomas Roth. He's been around for many, many, many years. Been on QVC for many, many, many years. And I can tell you right now, if he were not a good brand, and if his products were not selling, he would not still be on QVC. That's just the way they work, both QVC and HSN. So he had the Today Special value, and that day, it was what he called his best-selling products over all these years. And they were put together in one kit. And I watched the entire presentation and decided maybe that was the brand I should try. And I ordered it. And they were all full-size products, and they looked awesome. It looked like something exactly what I was looking for. So, as I said, I ordered it. And it came in. And it came in this box. And again, they were full-size products. They were greatly reduced by getting it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products. And you could get all of them in this box, full size, and it was a fraction of the cost that it would have been if you had ordered each product individually. So a good deal. And I want to say, I don't hold me to this, but I want to say it was right at $150 for the 5 products. So we're back to what Patty's been using, and it looks like what Patty is going to continue to use. And I want to start off with this first product that I know many of you know I've used it over the years, probably now for about 7 or 8 years. I have been so faithful to this. I've said so many times that if I could only have one skincare product, only one, for the rest of my life, this would be it. And it's not because I have seen a huge difference in my skin. It's not because it makes me look 10 years younger. It's the only reason is I like the way it goes on. I like the scent of it. I like the idea behind the ingredients that are in it. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to hurt my skin. It, for me, is affordable, and I think that's a big thing that I haven't talked about, and I will. But for me, it's affordable because I use the smallest amount, and that's all I need. And it is, say it with me, the Skinn Divine Elixir Luminous Facial Oil with Manuka Honey Plus C. And that's what it looks like. Now, this is the big Mambo Jumbo super size bottle of it. Normally it comes in, and I have one right here, a 1 ounce size. So there you go. You can see the difference. The bottle is very deceiving. The bottle is beautiful and it's extremely thick. So it truly does make you think that you have more product in the bottle than you do. And if you go on and read reviews on this, I buy it off of HSN usually, but when you read the reviews on HSN, what you'll see quite a bit of is people buying it thinking they're getting a lot more product than they are. That's their one complaint on it. But this has something like 17 or 18 different essential oils in it, and plus the Manuka honey and vitamin C. But it is what's considered a dry oil. And I use just, it's going to run, I use just maybe 3 drops. It's about a dime size in my hand, and unfortunately you can't see it because it's running. But what I do is, this is the first thing after I cleanse my face. I rub it into my hands, I warm it up, I get it into this palm, into the center of my palm right here, so that it's all over my palms. I don't pat it on my face, I rub it in. I rub it in. I get my neck, I get behind here. Anything that's left goes on my hands. And I'm good to go. If there's anything else left, I can do the tips of my hair. It's a dry oil, and as long as you don't use too much, it's not going to feel greasy at all. Not at all. And this is a jumbo size. I want to say it's 4 ounces, maybe 3.6 ounces. And this, every once in a while, Dimitri James, who owns the Skinn company, every once in a while he has a special where he supersizes this, and you can get it then also on auto delivery. You get so many deliveries in a time period, and I always sign up for the auto delivery and get the supersize when he has it, because it is a much better deal. It's very, very close to the size of the small bottle price-wise. So that would be my, if I had to have a desert island product, that would be my desert island product. And let me tell you too, Dimitri James does not have a clue who I am. Not a clue. Back when I first discovered this and fell in love with it, did a video on it, it got a lot of views, And Dimitri's sister, who works with him, contacted me and sent me an email. She had seen the video, and they wanted to send me some product, and they wanted to work with me, and I said no. So every one of these that I've ever purchased, I have paid for myself. As a matter of fact, you're going to see a couple of other Skinn products that I really do like, and I've paid for them with my own money, and I've used them for a long time, and they just work for me. For me. Might not work for you, but they work for me. And again, my skin is always has been very normal. I'm leaning now a little bit toward dry, but I'm not having to really change anything. So, and what I've been, so let me show you my nighttime routine. And I'm probably not going to show you any B-roll or visuals of me doing this, because you've seen 1,000 people wash their faces here on YouTube. So at least 1,000, maybe 50, I don't know. But let me show you what I actually use. And here we go. All right, so to cleanse my face at night, this is what I do. This is what I use. And I have been using this product for, again, 7 or 8, 9 years, a long time. I've been on YouTube for, I just got a notice from YouTube, just had my 14th year anniversary. To take my eye makeup off, I started off using the Neutrogena eye makeup remover for sensitive eyes. That's what I started off with, and then I realized that Walmart made their own Equate brand of and it's the very same thing. CVS has theirs. Rite Aid used to have theirs. I'm not sure if Rite Aid's still in business. Amazon now has their own version of it. And I've recently been ordering off of Amazon. And again, it's a little bit cheaper. Even the Neutrogena is not expensive. But here's what it looks like. The Neutrogena bottle looks all the other bottles look almost exactly to this. And I think even the Neutrogena now is maybe only $6 or $7 for a bottle. But the Walmart and Amazon and CVS, they're just a little bit cheaper, just a little bit cheaper. But save where you can, when you can, if you're getting the same quality. But what I do with this, and you do need to shake it, and it doesn't come with a flip top. None of them do. But this is an old flip top that I have in it that I've saved from something else. And I just replaced the top. So I give it a good shake. Put it on a Q-tip, a cotton pad. I saturate my cotton pad. And then what I do is I take this pad and I put it on my eye. And I don't rub. I just press it against my eye with my fingers, making sure that my whole eye is covered and my eyebrow. And I leave it on for a few seconds, literally just a few seconds. And then very gently, I swipe it off. And when I swipe it off, I'm telling you about 95% of anything that's on my eye, even waterproof mascara, comes off with that one swipe. And then I just take it on that same side, and anything that might be left, I barely touch it, and it comes right off. I get up in the mirror with my eyelashes to make sure every little bit of mascara is off, and if I see anything, I roll it over my finger like that, and I get up under there like that. I don't put mascara on my lower lashes, but I do line my lower eyelid so I get anything that's there. It's so gentle. I don't have to rub. I don't have to pull on my skin. It just removes it. And then I flip it over because this side is still saturated too, the clean side, and I do the very same thing with my other eye. My eye makeup is gone completely. It doesn't burn. I love this. I absolutely love this. I have tried Bioderm. I've tried the others that are supposed to take your eye makeup off and makeup. This, for me personally, this is so much better, so much better. So that's the first thing that I do. Then I need to cleanse my face. And by then, what I'm doing is I take one of my microfiber cloths, and these are from Campanelli. I bought a set of these, maybe 5 or 6 of them in a set. It was before we moved over to Pensacola, and we've been here almost 7 years. So I had these before I came to Pensacola, and they still look brand new. They look brand new. But it's microfiber, that's what it is. And I think they still sell these, not necessarily in this color, but there are other colors, but they do still sell these. But I think you could use any microfiber cloth. I also have a muslin cloth that I use sometimes, but I'll start the hot water running in my sink, and I put this under to let it start to get saturated with good hot water. And then to cleanse my face, I use the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. And the top has come off of this. It had a silver top or maybe a gold plastic, I don't remember. But it came undone and I just threw it away. But this is what this looks like. So I take a little bit of this, and it's not going to be much here. Oops. But I just start massaging it into my skin. And I massage my whole face, my neck, anywhere, my forehead up into my hairline, really. And I just massage it. And basically what it's doing is it's breaking down all of that makeup that I have on. And you know, I wear a lot of makeup. And then I take my washcloth that is wet and hot, really wring it out, and I just put it over my face and hold it for just, you know, 15 or 20 seconds and sort of let it steam my face. And then I start wiping all of my makeup off, all of the cleansing balm off until I get it all off. And there will be all kinds of makeup on this cloth, and by then I go ahead and turn on a little bit of cold water to have warm water, and I start rinsing my cloth out in the sink, and then I continue to wash my face with it until the cloth is back clean and all of my makeup is gone. And it just takes a couple of times for that to happen, for all of my makeup to be off of my face. Now, I am not 100% tied to Elemis. I love it. This might be my favorite one. I also love the Colleen Rothschild. It's very, very similar to this. Very similar. And I like both of those really well. I did work with Colleen, and that's where I was actually introduced to the cleansing balm using hers. Now, I know that e.l.f. makes one. I know there's another brand that I tried, and I think I reviewed it on Amazon, but the e.l.f. and this other brand, it starts with the V. I'll list it below in the description in case you want to check that one out. But they are not quite as pricey as this one and the Colleen Rothschild, but this lasts forever. But they're much thicker. They are a lot thicker. The e.l.f. and the other one are just really thick, and they do melt when they come in contact with your skin. They melt your makeup off, but for some reason I really like this, and I really like the Colleen Rothschild. This is on QVC all the time. They have specials on it all the time. I buy it when it is a great, great, great price. And so I have another one of these big ones in my stash because I got it at such a good price, but it just lasts forever. I was looking at this on the back. It just lasts forever. And this comes in about maybe 3 or 4 different scents, flavors. This is the original, and it's a more natural, sort of honey flavored scent. I love that. That's what I do. Once my face is clean, the next thing I do is I use my Divine Elixir Luminous Face Oil. I do that, okay, all over my face. I told you how I use it. And then I use some kind of a moisturizer. And because I've worked with different brands and I've bought a lot on my own, I've seen befores and afters, I've seen promises, I've seen so much, just like you have, and you want to believe that you could use this twice a day for 2 weeks or 4 weeks and these wrinkles are going to be gone, but they're not. So I have lots of moisturizers that I've switched around on. But after I had ordered that Peter Thomas Roth kit on HSN, Dimitri, who owns Skinn Cosmetics, Dimitri had the Today Special. And the Today Special was a moisturizer of his that goes with the Divine Elixir. It's the companion to it. And I went, well, I used that for so long and I liked it. Why did I stop using it? And I went and looked in my cabinet. I had one. And so I'm going, oh, okay. And he said something when he was presenting this that I did not know about, this Divine Elixir Luminous Firming Cream with 72-hour moisture lock. That's a mouthful. I didn't realize it, but this is the #1 selling moisturizer on HSN. Now think about that. Home Shopping Network is huge. They are worldwide, pretty much worldwide, I think. And this is the #1 moisturizer, the #1 selling moisturizer. Wow. I don't know why I stopped using it, because probably I saw a video or saw somebody review something or saw the pictures of the before and afters of something else. And so I pulled it out and I've started using it again. And comes with a little spatula. And I will tell you that I did not have a partially open jar, which means I used the last jar of it. But it is, and you can see, I hope, with the light, it's not as thick as that Peter Thomas Roth, but it has a different feel to it. This has, it's almost like a cream and a gel, a split between a cream and a gel. That would be a good way to describe it. Feels wonderful. It has that same soft scent that I like. This can be used both morning and night because it does not have a sunscreen in it. And again, this is the Divine Elixir Luminous Firming Cream with 72-hour moisture lock. I don't know anybody who's going to leave it on for 72 hours. I do the same thing. I rub it into my skin any place I can, and then the rest goes on my hands. All right, that's it. Would you believe? That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Now, there are times when I want to really do something that's going to be special to my skin. And again, this has been years ago, years. Again, it's Dimitri, it's Skinn. He calls this his non-negotiable Derm Peel. It's thermoenzymatic microdermabrasion treatment with VC5 crystal technology. And I'm trying to get this so you can see it. But this is an exfoliator to exfoliate. When I tried this from Peter Thomas Roth, I thought it would be more like this. And it wasn't. Not at all. Not at all. So, and this, by the way, is HSN's #1 skincare product, period. Bigger than this or anything else HSN sells. They sell more of this than anything else. And I bet many of you have heard of this. Now, it comes in the tube. It also, and this is one that I bought on backup a while back. I still have a partially open one, but it comes in a tub. And when he has specials on these things, that's when you want to buy it, when he has the specials. Well, I don't like the tub. I don't like the tubs at all. I like the product, but I don't like the tub. And so, and the reason why is you cannot expose it to water until you're ready to use it. That's really, really, really important. And usually I do the microdermabrasion with this when I am in the shower. That's when I do it mainly. So I'm always afraid that I will get this wet. And by the way, buying it in a tub when he offers it is so much cheaper. It's such a much better price than buying the tubes. So this is the way I like to use it. And I had some tubes, and I've been saving my tubes to use when I travel. But anyway, what I did basically with this is I just bought one of those little travel jars, and I would scoop it out, put it in there, and keep it closed real tight, and keep just that little jar in the shower. So I would use it, and I was constantly having to refill that. And a couple of months ago, I think I got this at either the Dollar Tree or Walmart in their travel size containers and products. And look at this bottle. It's real squishy, you can see, and has a flip top that screws off for refilling. And I'm going, that would be perfect for my microdermabrasion. That would be perfect. And let me tell you, it is. It really is. So how you use this, or how I use it, and I think this is how you're supposed to use it. After I cleanse my face, I've done all that. My face is wet. Your face needs to be damp. I take this, and I usually, you know, I take more than that because I'm doing it for my whole face. But I start rubbing it or massaging it into my face, the skin on my face, all over, avoiding my eye area. This has a minty scent to it, and when you get it close to your eyes, if you get too close to your eyes, you'll feel it. It doesn't burn like that cleanser did, but I just make sure I don't get it close to my eyes. But you can feel a little gritty, and it's the crystals that he has in here. It's not like an apricot seed or something like that you see in other exfoliators. And you just massage it in. Now, he also has some tools that you can use, and this is one of them, to scrub, to really get in there. He had a brush that looks something like this that does the very same thing. It just has a handle on it. I found this at the Dollar Tree. Same thing. I even found this thing at the Dollar Tree. Same thing. I don't use those. I don't use any of those because I have 82-year-old skin. As I've gotten older, my skin has gotten thinner, and I just don't want to take any chances with burning my skin or breaking my skin or tearing my skin. So I don't use this nearly as aggressively as I used to. I used to get pretty aggressive with it, but I've really backed off over the years, and I used to use it maybe 4 or 5 times a week, where now I use it at the most maybe 3 times a week. Usually I use it 2 times. I can tell when I need to use this. I know my skin just shows it. I start to get a little gray cast to my skin, and I notice that my foundation's not going on as smooth as it does after I've used it. It's just a major difference to me. Before I use this, I can see, especially around my lip lines or right through here where I have all of these smile lines, through here. I even use it very lightly on my neck. And again, I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just very gently massaging it to slough off all of that dead skin. And unlike that Peter Thomas Raw thing, I don't see stuff peeling up on my skin. You're just massaging it. And then I do that for a couple of minutes, and then I rinse it off with cold water. And when I tell you, my skin feels like a baby's bottom. My skin feels wonderful. And it looks so much better. Those little fine lines seem to have diminished. I mean, it's like, because it's getting off all of that old, dead skin. I truly understand why this has the reputation that it has. I love it. And that's it. That's all I do. That's all I do. As I said, you can see here that out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products that I use, 1, 2, 3 of them are Skinn Cosmetics. And again, as I said, he doesn't know me from Adam. He doesn't know me. I've paid for everything I've ever bought from him. And I've learned enough about him. If you've never watched him, especially, you owe it to yourself just to watch one of his presentations. He's a hoot. But he comes from a long line of estheticians. He owns his own company. He doesn't have a board of directors that dictates profit and all of that kind of stuff. And by the way, on HSN, all of his products are, if they still are, I'm pretty sure, all of them are postage paid. And of course, you can return anything within 30 days that you don't really like. But he's just a hoot. He is funny. He is probably the most vain person, man or woman, that you've ever seen in your life, and makes no bones about it. He knows his business. He really does. And whether or not any of these products make me appear younger than I am, which I don't care. I just want to be, I've said this for so many years, guys. I don't want to look like my daughter or my granddaughter or my nieces. Or the young content creators here on YouTube. Even the 70-year-olds. No. Every day, whether it's my face or my hair or the way I dress, I just want to be the very best that I can be for me. That's all. I want to be the very best I can be for me. And if I wanted to be younger, I would have had plastic surgery. I would have had procedures, which I have no problem with. You know, I've said this so many times before. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know that when I was younger, in my 30s and 40s, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that when the time came, I would have a facelift. I never questioned it. It was just a knowing. I just knew. And I knew that if I didn't have the money for it, I'd borrow the money for it. I would have a facelift as soon as I felt like I needed it. I felt like I needed it. And as I got closer and closer to that, I realized I didn't want it. I didn't want a facelift. Then I thought, well, maybe I'll get the Botox. And then they had the fillers, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll get filler. And then I don't know, it's like I just didn't want it. I have nothing against it. I have nothing against any person who wants to do it, but it was just, it sort of got to a point with me, and again, I've done a video on this years ago. I sort of got to the point where it was almost fun seeing how my face would age. And the good and the bad and the ugly. But the saggy jowls, the hoods, you know, the forehead wrinkles that won't seem to budge. I don't know how even Botox or anything could do anything to those. It's like they're ingrained in my forehead. My trenches. If I were going to do anything, that would be the first thing I would do, is my trenches under my eyes. But you know what? I've had these trenches my whole life. I look at my childhood pictures and I saw those trenches. My neck. I'm okay. I'm very okay with the way I'm aging. I think my age tells my story. I think I've smiled a lot. I've frowned a lot. I've cried a lot. And I think my face reflects all of that. And as I age, visibly, it's like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Again, I've said this so many times, I'm not ever going to be the most beautiful woman in the room. Neither am I going to be the least attractive woman in the room. I'm not going to be the skinniest. I'm not going to be the biggest. I'm not going to be the smartest or the not as smart. I'm not going to be the richest or the poorest. And that's okay. That's okay, because I'm me. I'm me. And I just want to be the very best me I can be without doing anything invasive. And I'm liking it. I really and truly like the way I'm aging. I look just like my mother. I'm aging just like my mother. Some of you who have watched me and who are new to my channel even are always saying, well, do this and do that. Just do this. Do your hair back its natural color. Go get some filler. Patti, fill those trenches. Do this. I don't want to. I appreciate your opinion. I really do. But when it comes right down to it, it's me and it's my face and my hair. And I'm good. I'm good with it. Good with it. I will list all of the skincare that I've shown you in the box below, in the description box. I will also list that kit if it's still available on QVC. I'll list it because it may be something that will work for you. Obviously, it works for a lot of people. Obviously, those products work for an awful lot of people. So I will list that just in case if it is still available. Let me put it that way. If it's not listed, it's because it's not available as a kit. Okay, that's it. I'll even list these little cloths for you because I love them. And by the way, I wash these. I put these in my lingerie. I have a box that I put my bras and underwear in, and socks and things like that. After delicates, let's put it that way, delicates. I have a little basket in my closet that I put all of those things in, and I throw these in there too, so they're washed separately with all of my delicates. And maybe that's part of the reason why they've lasted so long. And that just reminds me, do y'all remember when I bought these and I reviewed them? And I've got that embroidery machine that I haven't used in years either. But for Christmas that year, I bought my daughters and daughters-in-law and my niece at the time, my only niece, and my granddaughter at the time, my only granddaughter. I monogrammed their name. I put their names on them and stuck these in their stocking for Christmas. Let me ask you this. Why don't you, in the comments below, why don't you comment about how you feel about skincare? And is there a line of skincare, a brand that you've used for years and it just works great for you? You are so pleased with it. And maybe what kind of skin you have. Are you oily, dry, normal, combination, leaning dry like I am? List that so others can go down and read your comments. If they're looking for a skincare line or maybe products that are, and maybe put your age if you don't mind, so that, we're comparing apples to apples here. Certainly someone who's in their 30s is not going to be interested probably in what I'm using. So yeah, put in the comments if there's anything that you're using that you absolutely love and that you're going to stick with. It just works for you and you're just going to stick with it. I've been really looking at a lot of the drugstore, Olive Olay, and is it Lancome, or not Lancome, Olive Olay and L'Oreal, and who else? Is it Coty maybe? Olive Olay. I can't remember. But there are some the Midnight Cream and that black jar. I've been curious about that. There are some drugstore products that look good, but drugstore products now have gotten so expensive for the most part. I mean, this was on HSN. This was as inexpensive almost as when you get it on one of the specials as like a midnight cream or one of those drugstores. So drugstores are getting higher in price for sure. All right, leave us a comment about that. I want to thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. A little exciting news. My daughter's flying in for a visit this afternoon. She'll be here late this afternoon, so I wanted to get this video done. But she'll be here for the rest of the week. Be a nice little vacation for her to get away from the children, from those twins. Take a little break. They're busy. Is that a good way to say it? They're busy all the time. But they're precious. They are so precious. They wanted to come. But they're going on a trip with their other mothers. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope that you'll remember to be kind. Be kind. Be kind to yourself so that you can be kind to others. Know that I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.